Okay, so, Timbaland, right, the legendary producer,
Huh.
like this. He's spending like 10 hours a day with his new baby Timbo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's not like a human protege or anything.
Oh,
It's AI.
wow.
Yeah. So this Rolling Stone article talks about it, all his work with this AI music software called Suno.
Okay.
And it's causing like a lot of buzz in the music industry.
I bet it is. AI music is such a hot topic right now.
Yeah, totally.
It's interesting, though, because he isn't just messing around with it, you
Well,
know? Timbaland's saying this is the new age of music creation, like, seriously.
wow.
He's using Suno to change up some of his older tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's, like, feeding them into the AI and using all these prompts, like, give this a futuristic trap vibe, or, like, make this sound like outer space.
That's so cool. So he's basically like making music with an AI version of himself.
Exactly. It's like next level collaboration, right?
Totally.
And I bet those reimagined tracks are insane.
I know, right? It's mind-blowing. And the article said he's not stopping there.
Oh, yeah. What else is he doing?
He's partnering with Suno, like as a creative advisor,
Wow.
and he's launching a remix contest with them.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
It reminds me of when Auto-Tune first came out.
Oh, yeah.
People were freaking out,
Yeah.
but now it's like everywhere.
Totally. So could AI music be on the same path?
It could be. This is a huge deal.
Yeah, for sure.
So for those of us who aren't music producers, how does Suno actually work?
Right. Like, how does it do it?
Well, imagine you hum a melody into your phone,
Uh-huh.
and the AI is like, okay, I get it. Here are 10 different versions of that with harmonies, drums, even a bass line.
No way.
So basically, users upload their own audio,
Okay.
and Suno uses all these algorithms to analyze it, and then it generates new musical ideas.
So you're saying, like, I could upload a simple beat
Yeah,
and it could turn it into a whole song.
pretty much.
That's wild.
Yeah.
No wonder Timbaland is obsessed with this thing.
Right.
He's saying that crafting the perfect AI prompt is the future of music production.
It's like you're a musical wizard,
Wow.
conjuring up these sounds and melodies.
Yeah, and Timbaland is even predicting that musicians will start selling their prompts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like how they sell beats today.
Huh. So it could be like a whole new way to make money in music.
Exactly. It's
Really?
crazy. So instead of spending hours looking for samples,
Yeah.
producers will be like crafting the perfect phrases to feed to the AI.
It's a total game changer.
But with all this excitement, there's also like this big issue, right?
You mean the lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're being sued for using copyrighted music to train the AI,
Right.
and they didn't get permission.
Yeah, that raises a lot of questions about who owns the music and like how we develop this technology ethically.
For sure. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. But here's the thing.
What's that?
Timbaland sees the lawsuit as a good thing.
Really?
Yeah. He's not worried about the legal stuff at all.
Huh. I'm surprised. He's not concerned about what could happen.
Not really. He thinks it means they've got something special.
Oh, wow.
He said, we got something special.
Hmm.
He says, all music production tools are basically forms of AI, even auto-tune.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So he's saying Suno is just the next step in that evolution.
So, like, don't be afraid of the tech. Embrace it.
Exactly. But what about the whole idea that AI will replace musicians?
Yeah, a lot of people are worried about that.
Right.
But Timbaland's saying that humans are still essential.
Okay.
He sees AI as a tool, not a replacement.
That makes sense.
It's about humans and AI working together to push the boundaries of creativity.
So it's like having a superpower in the studio.
Right. It's like a superpowered collaborator.
Yeah, but I'm still trying to understand all of this. It's like Timbaland is speaking a whole new musical language.
I know what you mean.
Do you think this is how all producers will be working in the future?
It's hard to say for sure, but
Yeah.
Timbaland's a pioneer,
Oh, yeah.
He's showing Suno to all the artists he works with, trying to get them on board with this new way of making music.
Well, it's definitely shaking things up.
For sure. And we'll have to see how other musicians react.
Yeah. Some might love it, some might hate it.
Exactly. And it reminds me of when Napster first came out.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was terrified,
Right.
but it ended up changing how we listen to music forever.
Wow, that's a really good comparison. So could AI have that same kind of impact?
It definitely has the potential.
It's a big deal.
For sure. And this is just the beginning. This conversation is only going to get bigger and more complicated.
Absolutely. So before we talk about the implications of all of this, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What do you think about AI music? Is it the future or something to be worried about?
Let us know on social media.
Yeah, head over there and tell us what you think.
We'll be back in a minute to explore more about Timbaland's vision for the future of music and what it means for all the music creators out there. So we were talking about the lawsuit against Suno, right?
Mm.
It's crazy to think that AI music is already causing so much controversy.
Yeah, it's wild. And the technology is changing so fast.
It really is. But you know what else Timbaland's doing?
What's that?
He's launching a remix contest.
Oh,
Yeah, with Suno, he's inviting anyone to remix his song Love Again using the software.
wow, that's awesome.
Right. And there are over $100,000 in prizes.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's actually a really smart move.
I agree.
It gets the technology into more people's hands, you know?
Uh-huh.
It demystifies AI music and encourages people to experiment with it.
It totally aligns with his whole message of embracing the technology.
Exactly. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Yeah, it shows he really believes in AI's potential to change music.
And it makes you want to try it out yourself, right?
Definitely. But even if this lawsuit gets resolved, there's still some big questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, what does it even mean to be a musician or a producer when AI can just make music for you?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah, does using AI make music less artistic?
Yeah.
Or does it just give us new ways to express ourselves?
Right, it's a tough one.
It reminds me of when sampling and electronic music first came out.
Oh, yeah, good point.
People were skeptical at first, but then those technologies became a normal part of music.
Exactly. Could we be seeing the same thing happen with AI?
Maybe it's fascinating to think about.
Totally. And you know, Grimes actually released an AI songwriting tool a while back.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. And there's Amper, too.
Right. There are all these platforms popping up.
It seems like more and more musicians are using AI.
Definitely, it's becoming a
It
movement.
makes you wonder what the music charts will look like in a few years. Will they be full of AI-generated hits?
I don't know if it's a good question. Will it just become another tool for producers?
It's hard to say, but AI is already changing how we create things, and not just music.
That's true. Think about painting, writing, film.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless.
It's a total shift in how we think about creativity.
But before we get too philosophical,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to Timbaland.
Okay.
He's predicting that making music will be all about crafting the perfect prompt for the AI.
Right.
What do you think are the biggest implications of that?
Well, for one, it could make it way easier for people to become musicians.
How so?
You wouldn't need fancy equipment or years of training to make music that sounds professional.
That's a good point.
All you'd need is a good idea and a well-crafted prompt.
Wow, so anyone could potentially make a hit song.
Exactly. It's pretty amazing, but it also brings up some questions about ownership.
Oh yeah, like who owns the rights to an AI-generated song?
Right. Is it the person who wrote the prompt, the AI developer, or both?
Those are some big questions we'll have to figure out as a society.
Definitely and creatively. I wonder how it will change the role of the human artist.
Yeah, will we be more like curators shaping the AI's output?
It's possible it could lead to completely new forms of music.
I can imagine musicians collaborating with AIs like their bandmates.
It's a cool thought, right?
Yeah,
Each bringing their own strengths to the table.
totally. But we also need to be careful.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's important to embrace AI, but also be aware of the potential downsides.
Absolutely. Finding that balance is going to be crucial.
We need to keep talking about this, both in the music industry and in society as a whole.
Definitely, it's a conversation that needs to happen.
But before we move on, I'm still curious about Timbaland's reaction to the lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
He seems so unconcerned about it.
Well, I think he sees it as proof that they're onto something big.
So he's basically saying lawsuits are inevitable when you're disrupting things.
Right. He's not ignoring the issue, but he's putting it in the context of innovation.
It's a bold way to look at it.
But what I find most interesting is how Timbaland is shaping the conversation around AI music.
Yeah, he's not just watching it happen, he's an advocate for it.
Right. He's a pioneer who's pushing boundaries and making us rethink what's possible.
That's what makes this so fascinating.
Right.
It's not just about the technology, it's about the people who are driving it forward.
Exactly. And that leads us to another important question. What does this mean for the average music listener?
How will AI music change the way we experience and connect with music?
It's a huge question and one we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've talked about Timbaland and Suno and like the legal stuff, but what does this all mean for people who just love listening to music?
That's a great question, right? We can get so caught up in the tech and the industry side of things.
Right.
But at the end of the day, music is all about connecting with listeners.
Totally. So how will AI change that connection? Will we even be able to tell if a song was made by a human or an AI?
Well, think about it. We already listen to music made with computers and digital tools, right?
Yeah.
AI is really just another tool for musicians. And like any tool, it can be used in really creative ways.
That's true. I guess it's not about the tools themselves, but how they're used.
Mm-hmm.
But I do worry that AI could lead to, like, too much music.
Too much music.
Yeah, if anyone can make a song easily, will it make music less special?
That's a valid point. I mean, we're already overwhelmed with content.
Right.
But I think it comes down to how we find and choose music. You know,
Okay.
like we have playlists and algorithms that help us find new music we like. AI could actually help us filter through all the noise and find music that we really connect with.
So instead of replacing human creativity, AI could actually help us find hidden gems.
Exactly. It could even personalize our music experiences.
Personalize. How so?
Imagine an AI that knows your music tastes so well, it can create custom soundtracks for you.
Wow, that's like a personal DJ in your pocket.
That'd be awesome.
But what about the emotional side of music?
Right. Will AI be able to move us the way human-made music does?
Yep.
Well, that's something philosophers and scientists are still debating.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think the emotional power of music comes from how it connects to human experiences.
Uh-huh.
And AI, by analyzing tons of data, could learn to create music that makes us feel those same emotions.
So it's not about copying human emotion, but about understanding what makes us feel things.
Exactly. Think of it like learning a language.
Okay.
AI can learn the rules and words of music,
Yeah.
but it's the human artist who gives
Yeah.
it meaning and feeling.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
So even with AI, human creativity will still be super important.
absolutely. It's just that the creative process might change a bit.
Right. And that's what's so exciting about this whole thing. We're entering a new era of music.
Totally, one where technology and human creativity come together in new ways.
I'm feeling inspired. What advice would you give to our listeners who want to explore AI music?
Be curious, be open, and don't be afraid to experiment.
Yeah.
Check out the Love Again remix contest. Try Suno. Play around with other AI music platforms.
It's a chance to be part of a musical revolution.
Exactly.
Awesome. So embrace the change, explore the possibilities, and maybe you'll be the one to discover the next big thing in music.
It could happen.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of music.